And I think I would challenge the whole industry just to be more transparent, whether you are consensus and you own a lot of ETH, and I think to this day, we don't know how much.
I think what's important to know about the SEC and Ripple, and it'll be interesting to see what the verdict will be, is that the SEC charged Ripple with violating securities law and argues that it passes the Howey test. It says that it's a common enterprise, an investment contract, and a common enterprise. And the big thing I want people to remember, no matter what happens tomorrow, is this is a failure on so many levels. This was a failure of our legacy financial system attaching itself to what appears to be a crypto Ponzi scheme, fail, allowing that fiat Ponzi scheme to advertise on the Super Bowl, fail.
Moving from the entrepreneurial stage, where this was a Wild West offshore, where anything goes, to an institutional digital asset stage where the big players like Bank of America and Fidelity and BlackRock and
25 years ago, when I first got involved in the Internet of Information, I never could have predicted on my smartphone I'd press a button and I'd have a car picking me up minutes later. I think this will permeate lots of different parts of our society.
It's different, but it's very pretty out here. I believe they're setting up the flag now.
If you got a bag, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Go ahead and throw on those pilot shades. Buckle up, because the future's extra bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at $871 billion, down 0.1% in the past 24 hours. We got XRP in that number 7 spot, 34.5 cents, down 1% in the past 24, up about 0.5% in the past hour. We got BTC right around 16,600, ETH right around 1,200, and we got Stellar XLM in the number 28 spot, about 9 cents, down 2.0% in the past 24. Ripple says our highly anticipated Ripple swell global speakers will be entering the stage left, right, and center in just a few days. Stay tuned to hear their expertise on all things crypto, finance, payments, and XRP. BTC down 77% from the all-time high, ETH down 76%, XRP down 90%, XDC 88%, Quant 77%, HBAR 92% from the all-time highs. These are all buying levels. If prices drop lower, it won't be much. 75% to 90% is the average. Last bull run, XRP dropped about 98%. We are closer than many think. Load up while you still have some time. One of the biggest financial scandals is Madoff is happening, and all these BTC and ETH maxis can think to do is attack Big Brad Garlinghouse about Ripple. When he throws it back at him, it sounds like a moment of silence because they can't talk about those disguised ETH wells.
What advice would you give to the companies that have large token value on their balance sheet? How do you think they should manage selling those tokens without causing issues when they're trading against their consumers or manipulating prices? How do we stop that?
Transparency. Look, I mean, there's a kind of well retweeted clip of me on stage with Joe Lubin at the World Economic Forum a few years ago. And, frankly, Joe's going after me about some of the same questions you're asking me. And I said, wait, Joe, how much ETH does Consensus own? He wouldn't answer. How much ETH that has Consensus sold? He wouldn't answer. So look, transparency is our friend. And I think I would challenge the whole industry just to be more transparent, whether you are Consensus and you own a lot of ETH, and I think to this day, we don't know how much, or you're a project like Library that just has one, you are the token. I think transparency is our friend.
Silence. Jungle Inc. Fox News ran a ticker. The settlement is expected tomorrow, while their analysts spewed FUD. What's the purpose of this?
Offering. This is a separate case, but your thoughts on whether any of this has the potential to take down other markets like the stock market?
Absolutely, Maria. Well, it goes to your first point. When contagion happens, it's because everything is cross-collateralized and the system at large based on credit is so fragile. So we do see Bitcoin drawing down, and we can see other assets drawing down as people liquidate in order to cover cover their margins and their shorts. And so I think what's important to know about the SEC and Ripple, and it'll be interesting to see what the verdict will be, is that the SEC charged Ripple with violating securities law and argues that it passes the Howey test. It says that it's a common enterprise, an investment contract, and a common enterprise. And the big thing I want people to remember, no matter what happens tomorrow, is right now you can go to Twitter or Google and you can find Ripple's CEO. And Ripple is the largest holder of its own
Charles Gasparino says, breaking, Ripple just told Eleanor Terrett that this is false. Eleanor Terrett, per Ripple spokesperson, this morning's report on an expected settlement between Ripple and the SEC Gov tomorrow, 11:15, is false, but we must be getting close.
This is a failure on so many levels. This was a failure of our legacy financial system attaching itself to what appears to be a crypto Ponzi scheme. Fail. Allowing that fiat Ponzi scheme to advertise on the Super Bowl. Fail. Allowing what appears to be a crypto criminal enterprise to become one of the largest donors to a political party. Fail. And it was a failure that a lot of Bitcoiners saw coming, and hopefully the people responsible will be held accountable.
And yet we have XRP hidden in plain sight. Good for everybody. Faster, cheaper, efficient, no middleman taking any fees. And yet we're still in the lawsuit and FTX debacle. Gary, you there? Congressman Brad Sherman, the collapse of FTX as one of the largest cryptocurrency firms in the world is a dramatic demonstration of both the inherent risk of digital assets and the critical weakness in the industry that has grown up around them. We got Stuart Alderati. Investigators should ask, was Gary Gensler acting alone when meeting with SBF? Was this the last gasp effort to finally manufacture that ever-elusive SEC registration the chair has been after? Would SBF have ended up even more consumer assets under his control? Jeff Roberts says, I connected some dots between SBF, Gensler, and the Democrats. Hard to believe GG blew it again, and now he wants more money and power. Drain the swamp. Free the standard. James K. Fallon responds, says calls for an investigation into SBF and FTX are entirely warranted given the fallout. However, that investigation shouldn't obscure the market havoc and consumers harm the SEC continues to create in the absence of regulatory clarity in the U.S. DAI says they attacked Brad Garland House out of nowhere in that FTX Twitter Spaces. It's never been more clear who the bad guys are in this space. None of them have ever questioned the ETH holdings of any of these outfits, but they are programmed to challenge Ripple on theirs. Coordinated attack. They know what's coming. We know what's coming, and they're trying to stop it. Library says congressmen that were elected via stolen funds given to them by a con man are going to pass a bill written by that same con man using the con man's conning as justification. It is impossible to have too low of an opinion of the U.S. government. U.S. senators commit to advancing the crypto bill despite FTX collapse. XRP Darren Moore, 2 ways to move forward, says Sailor. Regressive regulation that gives an advantage to BTC or progressive regulation that will clean up the market to a handful of tokens. We are transitioning from the lawless frontier of the Wild West to the institutional stage. Utility, enter XRP.
Well, I think it's definitely going to strengthen the hand of the regulators. It's going to accelerate their intervention, and there's a regressive regulation, which is to say, you can't really do anything, and that'll contract the industry. Bitcoin will be the winner because Bitcoin is a digital commodity and it's the least controversial of everything. But there's a progressive regulation which says this is a path to register a digital security, a digital currency, a digital token, and your digital exchange. If there is a progressive regulation, then I think you won't see 20,000 tokens. You'll see a handful, dozens. But they'll be properly registered tokens. The industry is going to grow much more rapidly. And ultimately, we're moving from the entrepreneurial stage where this was a Wild West offshore, where anything goes, to an institutional digital asset stage where the big players like Bank of America and Fidelity and BlackRock and the Goldman Sachs and JP Morgans are going to enter this space. And we're all just going to grow up and the world is going to benefit from that.
John Dean says, as I said on the Chain and Twitter, I don't believe Charles is an enemy of XRP. The space has real enemies who perpetrate fraud, as we all witness. As I said before, please don't contact or harass any person, including Charles. Let's all please move on. Charles says, are you going to ask your fans to stop harassing me or not? And then in the same thread, John Deaton says, once again, you speak without knowing the facts. If you read my tweet, you would know that I've said I don't blame Lubin for seeking clarity or even a regulatory free pass. I said Brad Garlinghouse was doing the same and would have accepted it as well. My focus has been on Hinman. Charles responds and says, a free pass for Ethereum has zero material impact on the Ripple litigation, especially given that your argument is that it would be a security, but they were bribed to not make it one. So what, both Ethereum and XRP are securities? Joel Katz responds and says, do you really believe that the Ethereum free pass has zero material impact on the Ripple litigation? The SEC could have adopted the position that XRP and ETH are both securities. The SEC could have adopted the position that neither XRP nor ETH are securities. But to adopt the position that XRP is a security and ETH isn't is a very different thing because it requires a level of precision that the other two positions don't require. To adopt that as a rational position, you have to think particular things matter in particular ways. Breaking Coinbase has 15 million USD stuck at FTX. Sam. Wabi's 8K-based unit lost over 13 million of customers' funds on FTX. Not your keys, not your crypto. Breaking, a potential bank run on Crypto.com may be in progress. Nearly 90,000 unique transactions have been processed in the last few hours, suggesting that users are scrambling to get their funds off the exchange. Not your keys, not your crypto. Get those cryptocurrencies offline into your own self-custody wallet. Not your keys, not your bags. We Say When says, I'm proud of you, some wallet users. Self-custody, invest in the security of your assets. This Excites Me album uploads are in the testing phase over on Sonar Muse, but we got all components for artists ready. Editing playlist, minor bugs with album song uploads, music player minor bugs, and unannounced additions. Check out Sonar Muse. XLIST says, check out our XLIST ETF Vault in 3D, VR, and augmented reality. Own an XLIST ETF Vault NFT entitles holders to airdrops from all project tokens held in the XLIST Investment Fund, XIF, including unicorn projects. Coming soon. Make sure to follow Good Time NFTs, mint going live soon over on the XRPL marketplace. Rain Dancers going live soon. Egrat Crypto says, crypto, right now Twitter is all about doom and gloom when it comes to crypto. Any bullishness will be seen as madness. This means that we're near the capitulation zone. Everyone's starting to say, how could I be so wrong? Thinking Crypto 1 says we're near the bottom, folks. As you can see from the Stock Money L chart below, the typical correction is between 80 to 90%. After a bull market, average of the past 3 cycles is 87%. So we have a little more to go. Then a slow move upwards starts. Get those bags packed, locked and loaded for the next move. Ripple has no debt. We've never had any debt. We've got billions of dollars in cash. Big Brad Garlinghouse. XRP is getting ready for the biggest run in crypto history. With that being said, Bagman, Bag Ladies, time to transform finance on the XRP ledger.
But I think over the next years, you're going to see many financial transactions where a middleman sits, a middle transaction, an intermediary. Those will get removed, and we'll use blockchain and other digital asset type technologies to remove that friction. And I think all of society will benefit from improving the efficiency of those systems. I think you'll see that. Certainly, you've seen it in securities settlement as an opportunity. The financial transactions around bonds, around derivatives, a lot of these things take a while to settle, and the friction associated actually holds back the industry. Insurance is an industry I think you're going to see touched. Trade finance is an industry that really Ripple, some of our customers have invited us to participate in. And you've seen experimentation around identity in real estate and title management. And these are all examples where I think it's so hard to predict where this will go, in the same way that 25 years ago, when I first got involved in the Internet of Information, I never could have predicted on my smartphone I'd press a button and I'd have a car picking me up minutes later. I think this will permeate lots of different parts of our society.
XRP benefits all societies. XRP. Where will those bags be when those rockets take flight and they flip that XRP switch? Hopefully you got those bags offline in your own self-custody cold storage wallet. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Catch you in the next one. Stay extra bullish out there. Peace out. Crypto Ghost.
We blowing up, and this is just the start of the run up. You could have doubled down and tripled up. Now we living life, spending Ripple bucks. You should have rolled the dice, now you're out of luck. I hope you hold it in strong, 'cause we about to boom soon. I hope you hold it strong. Cause we about to boom soon.